Today, we're gonna install Amazon's cheap $500 system and show you how we do it. So, because we have the Sumo springs already installed on the front and the rear, thank you guys, we really appreciate that. We do have a video, check that out. The problem is it's still sagging. It does have brand new Bilstein 51 shocks all the way around on all four corners, but it's still sagging pretty hard. So we're gonna get under there and we're gonna pull the old Sumo springs out because we wanna get these airbags in so that we can level our ride.
Well, here's a little flashback to the Sumo spring install. You can see them here. They're pretty awesome. You pull the bump stops off, you put the Sumo springs in. It does a good job, but they're not adjustable, and that's one of the features that we wanted. As Ryan pulls the Sumo spring out, you're probably wondering, what are you going to do with them? Well, the plan right now is to put them actually on the trailer and see if that might help our ride back there.
So the new bag will go in the same spot. It'll slide over this. There's going to be a bracket that wraps around. There's going to be another bracket that comes around this way. It's going to bolt into the same spot and a few other things. So let's get that in real quick.
You won't want to miss the speed round later in this video where we answer a bunch of your questions.
Your bags aren't going to come like this. You're going to have to put them together. There's a whole nother video online. You guys can look that up. But this is important. A lot of people think there's some common misconceptions with airbag systems. The biggest one is cost. A lot of people think these things are expensive. Well, we're going to show you this whole setup with a pump on board and the bags and the regulator, all of it for under 500 bucks. And you don't have to have the straighter valves because a lot of guys are like, oh, well, you got to put the straighter valves. You don't have to have any of that.
This really is the way to go. The alternative is every time you want to pump up your bags, you'll have to stop at a gas station, or you have to have some sort of portable solution, but you still have to plug it in and stop your vehicle.
You're gonna have your own onboard air system.
So at the end of the video, we're gonna do a parts breakdown, right, Ryan?
Yes, parts and cost breakdown. We'll have all the links in our description so you guys can go to our Amazon affiliate link and buy the whole kit as one piece. So let's get under the truck, get these bags on, and then we'll get the tank installed, and then we'll get the regulator installed.
All right, well, Ryan, are you excited about this? This piece of cake.
Yes, what you want to do is you want to put as many things underneath you as possible.
Well,
you're laying down.
You tend to like things in the crook of your back, right?
It just really adds to the whole experience.
Yeah?
So these things are a little particular when getting them in.
Okay.
A lot of stuff in the way. First thing, you want to make sure you're going up into it with it facing the right.
That does. Probably helps.
So,
okay.
And this way, there's a hole here. I'm gonna slide this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right up in there. I mean, it's just gonna slip in like.
Look at that. Look, I mean, it seems like it's really working well for you.
It's just so easy to manipulate.
Yeah, it looks great. There's a big, there's a couple hoses in your way there.
Yeah, just move that sucker out of the way.
Okay.
So, we want to get this cavity in here. See this shank? This is the hole that the shank goes into.
Okay.
And we're kind of having some difficulty here because it's just not cooperating. So
what you're saying, you need to shake it.
You just gotta kind of force it. So there's a nut right there in the center. I'm gonna try to get that to stabilize everything.
So was there a stud that went up through that, Ryan?
Yeah, it's on the top of the bags.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'll put the carriage bolt on, I guess. Yeah. Don't do it too much, just enough. The problem with this one, guys, is they don't make the bolts long enough for you to be able to reach to Mexico.
You don't think they're long enough?
No, I mean, if they were just a tad bit longer.
Yeah? Yeah, they're a little bit long. I'm not sure we need all of that.
You're gonna have to push
I got the backside, yeah.
Let me run this one up a little more.
Yeah, you about 1.25 inches on this.
Ow!
Ryan let the jack down a little bit, so we're thinking this little plate's now sitting on the frame, which is good. So now right above that, there's a couple bolts.
How far off is it?
Half. It looks like it needs
to come down or up.
down, down. Right?
Yep. Nope, didn't move any.
Same. Beam. It's crooked is the issue.
Bolts are spinning. Hold on. What the heck? Why can't I grab it? Go now.
After numerous failed attempts, we finally got it.
Guys, this really isn't that hard unless you're like special like me and Jason, and it kind of just, you make it worse for yourself.
Yeah.
I may have made the cardinal sin.
What is the cardinal sin, you may be asking?
It should go real easy. It should be simple.
Piece of cake.
That's what he said.
Shouldn't take long at all.
Piece of cake. That's your favorite.
See ya.
Now we're gonna install our compressor and our valve, run our air lines. Let's do that.
Okay, so we have this compressor.
Yeah.
This little Amazon doodad, right?
Yep.
How many PSI does that thing pump up to?
125 or something.
Jeez, that's crazy. It's a little piston thing, right?
Yeah, it's like a 1.8 gallons or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty good. My holes for mounting.
Uh-huh.
Get them mounted up here. I've already got my wires run because, like I said, I already had this installed once already for the train horns that I have right here.
Uh-huh.
And so, but we wanted to show you guys this all over. So we got hole, 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 and then we just bolted it. So it's pretty simple. The reason I say it would have been easier to put on the other side is all the air lines run on this side, the air conditioning lines.
Uh-huh.
And on the other side, they don't run.
So this air compressor is going to run the air horns.
Yep.
And it's going to run the bags on the back.
Yeah, so before you run to either of them, you want to put a splitter.
Okay, so it'll be a splitter that'll go, you know, front and back.
One will go to the air horn, and one will go to the front.
Okay, so let me ask a question. So when you hit the button for your air horn, is it going to pump up your airbags?
It shouldn't, no.
So when you pump up your airbags, is it going to make your horn go off?
I guess we'll find out.
So you can think about it this way. Each device has its own supply line, kind of like a light switch. And so when you turn the device on, it allows the supply to go through the switch and operate the horn or the bags. All right, well, let's go inside the cab, and you can see the switch that runs the airbags. Yeah.
It's listening.
Yeah, that's correct. All right, so there we go.
Now we got.
So this gives this probably gives what, current pressure?
Yeah.
So after installing the switch and the gauge, we found out we have a problem with our line. All right, so we ran into a little snag.
We did. We thought we did.
You were struggling with getting that tube in there, right? So
yeah.
Show them the inside of that thing. There's an extra little collar or something inside.
Correct.
And that has to go in the tube.
Yes. And so we were struggling getting it on. And the reason is I think that the extra set of hose I bought is a different inside diameter.
Okay.
And so that was the issue, but I just took it out, which was really a bear, and it's right.
The T's up there. That's going to split to each airbag.
Right. One will go into here, and then we'll run another one over to the other side.
So the fitting that we were looking at is actually right on top of that piece of metal there. It's really hard to see. So Ryan is now attempting to put the hose in the fitting. Except for he can't see it, can only feel it.
Mm-hmm. It's in.
Hey, good job.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to do something for heat.
Good job, Ryan.
Oh, thanks. Can you hand me a zip tie? Yep.
See those blue cutters on the ground? Those will come into play in a minute.
All right, there it is. And all we gotta do is plumb in our wiring, right?
That's it. Once you get that plugged in, right? Yeah. Could be worse.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, baby.
Hey, good job.
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without your commentary. Oh, there's something underneath me. Oh, yeah, that's good.
It's the cutter. I was thinking about moving it for you.
No. Why would you waste time moving?
Well, I thought about moving that too, but I thought you'd just roll right over.
Why would you waste time moving things when I can just roll over it?
No, I mean somebody's got to run the camera, Ryan.
Don't mind me, Jason.
Don't mind me, Ryan. Don't mind me, Ryan. Don't mind me, Ryan.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, it's time for the speed round. Remember earlier we said that later in the video we would have the speed round where we'd answer all the questions that you're going to ask in the comments. Let's start with the first one. What kind of pressure regulator or what sort of switch do we use for this install?
So we used a single gauge air pressure regulator. The link is in the description to that. And like we said, we mounted it inside the cab.
All right, great. Question number 2. What sort of trucks will this unit work on?
This whole setup is only for an Excursion or F250, F350 from 99 to 04.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna have in the description. Yeah. But you can go out and you can buy a similar thing for what sort of trucks maybe?
Whatever truck that you need, you just need to find right bracketry for your truck.
All right, so this is very universal in that sense, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go, next one. Loctite, did we use any?
Crap. No.
Why not?
We didn't need to use Loctite because the nuts that we have are locking nuts. And so as you tighten them down, they lock in.
All right, perfect. Next question. What about the ride? Is this going to affect the ride on the truck?
It can affect the ride.
In what way?
Some people have said it makes it a little bit more free, like floaty.
Okay.
The other thing is obviously when you're weighted, it's going to bring the level of the height back up so you're not sagging, which would cause less bottoming out on the axle and less rough of a ride.
All right, so what if you don't have them aired up? What if you're just like traveling and you're not towing?
So you want them at like 5 to 10 psi without a trailer, just so that there's a void there covering that gap.
Perfect. Was there anything that needed to be done to the suspension to make this work?
No, but we should have.
Okay. What about the bump stops? So we obviously didn't have we didn't have the stock bump stops. Right. But if we did, would we still remove those?
So if you had the stock bump stops, you would have had to remove those out of the way so that these bags can go in place. But we did not have those.
All right. So last question.
Yeah.
What if you had a lift? What if you had like a 2, 3, 4 inch lift?
Great question.
Would this affect it in any way?
Would not be able to use this.
Okay.
The reason is because if you have a lift, what's happening is your axle's staying here and the rest of your truck's going up here.
Right.
And so the gap that the device has to cover now is greater by 2 to 3 to 5, 6 inches. So you have to buy a different assembly that allows it to travel that distance, cover that distance to install it.
All right.
And they do have kits for that are separate, but this kit would not work on a lifted vehicle.
All right. So on to the next thing. Yes. What's the next thing, Ryan?
Next thing is we have the compressor installed, we have our airlines installed, we have our regulator installed, we have our bags installed, we have our airlines run. Now we have to wire in our compressor.
Okay, do you want to redo all that and replace the word we with I?
No, I'm fine.
All right.
And so the key on the compressor is you don't need it run to 12 volts all the time because it will run all the time when that regulator gets off. What you want to do is you want to find 12 volt key switch.
Right.
So when your key is on, 12 volts gets sent to it. That way the compressor is on whenever the truck is running, and it will fill the tank to the desired pressure while the key switch is on.
Right.
If the key switch is off, it won't run.
Right. Well, you don't want it sitting out in your driveway running the compressor at 2 in the morning. Right.
Unless you hate your neighbors. I'm looking at you.
Well, let's get it wired up.
Yes.
And then we can test it?
Yeah, then we'll test it, see if it works. And then we'll show you the horns.
Let's go. Let's be honest. Who doesn't need a good set of train horns?
I'm not like Jason. I don't have these super fancy. He's got these like $30,000 wire strippers and $20,000 crimpers. I just got this old school Jimmy right here. She's done well for me.
Yeah?
I've had these things. Oh boy, how long have I had these things?
Since you were a wee lad.
Hey, since I was a wee lad in my mum's country. I was up and down the moors and I was singing with my hands and my dancey. And I had me strippers.
You had slippers?
Strippers? Aye, lad. Listen to the words coming at me, mate. It was strippers. And crimpers. Yes, strippers and your crimpers are necessary. Jeez, you daggone willy pad. You're gonna hear the sucker turn on in a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug my ears.
It's gonna be a bit loud.
All right, so it's wired up.
Let's go turn the key switch on, right?
So,
see if she works.
I guess. But listen. Hey.
I won't hit the horns. I won't do that to you. I won't.
Thank you. I do not want.
Scout's honor.
I do not want these horns.
I knew right where you were going.
Hey! All right, so you can hear the compressor running down here. It's not too bad, especially when the engine's running. But yeah, doesn't sound too bad. It sounds like it's gonna work. So I think what we're gonna do next is we're gonna get some soapy water and we're gonna check all the connections. We're gonna push a little air pressure through, check the connections, see if we have any leaks. I give it about a 20% chance that we don't have a leak. That's just me.
We're gonna check for leaks, guys.
Oh man, it hit me right in the eye, Ryan.
It's got soap in it too, so it's got Dawn dish soap and water. So
It literally hit me in the eye.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't feel any of it. I see it all over your screen though. All right, let's start right here. There's 4, because you got one coming out of here, into here, and 2 out. I don't see any bubbling. So let's go look at the bags. And then see what happens. I'm not seeing anything. There, right there. No, we may have to replace that fitting. I mean, it's leaking pretty good right there.
Okay.
So,
like I said, 20% chance.
we may have to replace that one. This one seems fine.
Well, I mean, I think if it's leaking, you could probably pull it out, cut the end off, and put it back in first. See if that works, right?
See if, I mean, we got enough slack, so yeah, it's worth a try.
I think that's the first thing. So other side?
Yeah, let's go check the other side. Am I hitting it?
Can't tell. I can't see it either. I just see the line going in. Might need a mirror or something. Unless it makes tons of bubbles.
I'm definitely hitting it. I don't see any bubbles. We're fine. We're fine. It's good. In fact, I'm probably not gonna fix the one over there.
Ryan's just kidding. We actually pulled the tubing off. We cut it, and here was the result.
All right, let's see if we fix the issue. You can shut the key off. Let's see if we fix the issue, guys. Oh, let me actually shoot the fitting. And we have fixed it. We're not leaking. It's not bubbling like it was. Now it's just sitting there. Issue is resolved.
All right, so here we go. We're getting ready to put some air in these bags. And right now the gap is about, it's about 8 inches here to the bottom of the metal. So we're gonna go ahead and pump them up, let you watch that, and then we'll come back and measure it again. Here are the airbags inflating at normal speed. Here's the same thing sped up 3 times faster. Well, in case you missed it, 10 1/4 is what I said. That would make 2 1/4 our lift. All right, so on this cheap Amazon lift,
Yes.
we're gonna do the breakdown, and we're gonna give you the cost, and we're gonna put the links down in the description. So what are the pieces that we need, Ryan?
So the first piece we bought was the compressor. It's a 1.8 or 1.6 gallon compressor. It's $93.
All right, that's
That'll
not
be the
bad.
link up here. Not bad at all. And the compressor comes with its own tank. The next thing is the bags. The bags were $300 for this model truck. Again, F250, F350, and Excursion. Then there's the extra hose kit, because again, it's a longer truck. You need additional lines to get you from the front to the rear. That was $17. And the final component that we have in this kit is the regulator, the up and down switch. That is $44 for a grand total of $454 to do this whole system with onboard compressor in your truck. Pretty stinking sweet of a deal.
So what if you want to add those air horns?
That's another $100.
See, look, you almost could do the whole entire thing for under 500
$550.
with the horns.
$550 with the horns. Without them, $450.
That's not bad.
No, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome, guys.
Sweet. Well, thanks for joining us, guys.
We appreciate it. See you next time.